everyone. Today's topic is immunological technique, that is ELISA. So, what is the full form of ELISA? ELISA is enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay. Remember, it is not immunoabsorbent; it is immunosorbent assay, where antigen-antibody complex they are there in the solid phase. They are immobilized. It is a heterogeneous immunochemical technique involving antigen and antibody reaction. Now here the question comes, what is heterogeneous and what is homogeneous? So what happens in heterogeneous technique is labeled antigen or antibody, when it reacts with its counterpart, the additional labeled complexes, they are removed from the reaction before there is measurement of concentration or signal. Whereas what happens in homogeneous, there is no such removal of bound and unbound labels before the measurement. So we'll understand when we proceed further. So the principle, what is the principle of ELISA? It is based on antigen-antibody reaction. Based on that, we also have various types of ELISA. Now we can detect both antigen as well as antibody by ELISA technique. So for antigen detection, we have direct ELISA and sandwich ELISA. That is DAS, double antibody sandwich complex ELISA. For antibody detection, we have indirect ELISA, or what is known as TAS, triple antibody sandwich complex ELISA. Now we'll go through each by one by one. Now antigen detection, direct ELISA. If you can see here, the serum sample is applied to a microtiter plate or a solid surface. There is a specialized solid surface which is microtiter plate, where the antigen present in the serum fixes itself. Now the remaining surface will be coated by the various protein present in the serum. Now what happens in the next step is antibody with enzyme conjugate, antibody which is bound with an enzyme, that is known as conjugated antibody, is applied into the well surface. So what happens? The antibody which is conjugated will bind with antigen of interest, and the additional complexes will be washed off the free forms. In the next step, what will happen? We will put a substrate which is catalyzed to a particular product by the enzyme conjugated antibody. Now this substrate will be such that when it gets converted to product, it will produce from colorless to a particular type of color, so that it can be detected and quantified. So this is how your direct ELISA works. Now there is a shortcoming of direct ELISA, that when the antigen of interest that we want to detect is in very low quantity, then what will happen? Then there are chances that it might get undetected, because for binding on the surface of microtiter plate, the various other proteins will compete with this protein of our interest. So when it is in low concentration, there are every possibilities that it may not be able to bind to the surface of the microtitle plate and then get immobilized, ultimately to get detected. So to overcome this shortcoming, we use double antibody sandwich complex ELISA or sandwich ELISA. Again, use it for antigen detection. Now if you can see this, here the place where the reaction occurs is a plate or a well. Now in this technique, DAS ELISA, there is already you have antibody coated well or ELISA plate is available. Now to this we will apply the serum which contains the antigen of interest. Okay. In each step there will be washing to remove free or unbound antigen. So now the antigen of interest, they are trapped by antibody. Now again we'll apply second antibody which is conjugated with enzyme. So the antigen will be sandwiched between a coated antibody and conjugated antibody and it is now immobilized. Excess of conjugated antibody will be washed away, and next, since it is a conjugated antibody, what we'll do, we'll apply a substrate. It is conjugated with enzyme, so it will convert colorless substrate into a colorful product. Okay, and hence based on color intensity will detect the concentration of particular antigen. So substrate is added to the plate, causing color seen in the positive wells. So this is how the shortcoming of direct ELISA can be overcome by double sandwich ELISA. So just magnifying what is happening at the level of microtitle plate. So this is a microtitle plate which is already coated with the antibody. Suppose our antigen of interest is hormone, so it will bind to the antibody. Next, second antibody will be applied which is linked to the enzyme, hence enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Now what does this conjugated antibody will do? It will take part in the color reaction where colorless substrate will get converted to colorful product. So this is a magnified view, and now you can appreciate the difference between homogeneous assay and heterogeneous assay that I told you earlier. With each step there is a removal of unbound or free antigen or antibody from the step. Okay, so that is your heterogeneous assay. Homogeneous, you don't remove the unbound form of labeled antigen or antibody. So intensity of color developed is directly proportional to the concentration of antigen, right? Our spectrometric technique, we quantitatively assess the antigen concentration. Now, which are the commonly used enzyme that is used for conjugated antibody? We have horseradish peroxidase, another is alkaline phosphatase. These are the commonly used enzymes. Now we also have other enzymes, beta-glucosidase, glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, but as these requires complex substrates and buffer, so they are not used commonly. Now what does this peroxidase will do? It will convert hydrogen peroxide and liberate nascent oxygen. Now this oxygen will oxidize the colorless dye into a colorful product. That is your substrate getting converted to product, and hence you will see the color which is measured quantitatively by a detector. There is a modification. If instead of enzyme, if you use conjugation material as a radioisotope, then it is termed as immunoradiometric assay. Instead of ELISA, it is termed as immunoradiometric assay. Remember, conjugated antibody will have radioisotope instead of enzyme. So that was about detection of antigen. Now we also can detect antibody via ELISA, and that we term as indirect ELISA for detection of antibody. Again, if you see antibody, we already have coated antibody on the ELISA plate or surface. Then we will put the sample for incubation. Now this is the antigen which is known that can bind to this antibody. Okay. Now the antigen gets trapped by the antibody. Now we'll apply the secondary antibody that is incubated on the plate. The antibody in question or antibody of the patient sample will apply, and this antibody will trap the antigen which we added already. Now this antibody will be detected by another anti-human globulin antibody which is conjugated with enzyme. Again, since the anti-human globulin antibody is conjugated with enzyme, we apply the substrate which gets converted to colorful product. Okay? So this is how, if you can see here, why it is called as triple antibody sandwich complex. 1, 2 and 3 antibody being used. So this is a TAS or triple antibody sandwich complex ELISA used to detect antibodies in the patient sample. One more type available is competitive ELISA. Now what happens here? We have already a microtiter plate which is coated with antibody, where now it is provided. Now this antibody will have in its reagent, it will have a known antigen which is labeled, okay, and will also apply the patient serum, right? Now both of these antigen are same for this antibody, right? But the difference is one antigen is labeled which is already available, and another antigen will be present in the patient serum, okay? Now there is a competition between these labeled antigen and unlabeled antigen. So what will happen? Both will bind to the antibody, a common antibody which is there in the microtiter plate. Now, more the concentration of antigen in the patient serum, the more it will compete with the labeled antigen, and it will be bound more. Next, what will happen? We'll apply a substrate. Since it is a labeled antigen, we'll apply substrate and it will get converted to colorful product. So you can see, if as a logical, if you see, if the concentration of antigen present in the serum sample is more, the more amount of unlabeled antigen will be bound. Okay. So what will happen? The lesser amount of labeled antigen will be available. So what will happen to the intensity of color? So intensity of color will be less. So more the amount of antigen in the patient serum, less will be the intensity of the color generated. Hence, in this competitive ELISA, antigen present in the blood competes out labeled antigen for the same antibody, and hence intensity of color developed is inversely proportional to the antigen concentration. More the concentration of antigen in the serum, less the intensity of color developed. That I already explained. Now I will show you how does ELISA microtiter plate, or which contains various wells. It looks like this is the ELISA microtiter plates. It is a kind of transparent glass plates. Now, what are the advantages of this ELISA technique? First of all, previously, before the advancement in immunoassay to detection of ELISA, we had radioisotopic immunoassay, that is known as RIA. So, first advantage of this technique is it is a non-isotopic immunoassay. Second, it is much more sensitive than radio immunoassay. Maximum sensitivity can detect up to picomoles. It can go up to picomoles. And the third one, since there is no involvement of radiation, radioisotopes, there is no risk of radiation hazard to those who are working with this technique. Now, what are the uses of ELISA? It is used to diagnose the infectious disease. That infectious disease can be diagnosed by detecting bacterial viral antigen like hepatitis B surface antigen. We also have dengue duo, where we can detect antigen NS1 antigen for dengue by ELISA technique. Also in tuberculosis also we use this technique to detect antigens. We use this technique for antibody detection of in case of tuberculosis, it should be tuberculosis shall be here. Again, we also use to detect this the diagnosis of disease by detecting antibodies like HIV. We use ELISA technique, hepatitis NT, HBV, hepatitis B virus antibody, and hepatitis C and TB. For detection of tumor or cancers, various tumor markers, detection of tumor markers, we use ELISA. Various growth factors, we use ELISA. Most of the hormonal assays is carried out by ELISA. Most commonly used technique ELISA for hormonal assay. Although nowadays there are various advanced techniques which are used for detection of hormones. So I have given example of T3, T4, TSH, but majority of hormones can be detected by ELISA. It is also a horticultural or agricultural applications. Here, like seeds which are infected with virus, that can be diagnosed and it can be omitted out for yield of good crop. So before planting the seeds, we apply these seeds extract, and we know whether the particular seed is infected with the virus or not. That in future, if you use this seed, the crop yield will be less. So these are the horticultural agricultural applications of this ELISA technique. Also it is used in biotechnology. So that is all about ELISA. Thank you everyone.